All right. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Mayor Kara Spencer is going to give us an update on the current situation. Fire Chief Dennis Jankerson will then give us an update on fire department operations. Lieutenant Colonel Renee Priestman will give us an update on police operations tonight, and then we will have Commissioner Sarah Russell give us an update on SEMA's operations and the storm cleanup. Like I shared with you guys in our first update, things are still rapidly developing. We are still processing information, so the things that we're sharing today may very well be different tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, we will be holding another update in the morning. That time is to be determined, but we do anticipate that this will be the last prepared update for tonight as the city continues to assess the situation. Mayor Kara Spencer.
Thank you all. I'll just say on the forefront of this that our city is grieving tonight. The loss of life and the destruction is truly horrendous. We just learned that the death toll so far has reached 5. And it truly is a hard night for many, many people and many, many families in our community. Over 5,000 homes, my understanding, have been affected. And as Mitch pointed out, we're going to have a lot of work to do in the coming days. There is no doubt there. But tonight we are focused on life, saving lives and keeping people safe and allowing our community to grieve the loss of the folks that have suffered so far through this horrific storm. I want to say, too, that our first responders have stepped up in an incredible way from across the region. The first responders' response swiftly, comprehensively is really, truly amazing. My hearts and thoughts are with everybody who's out there tonight working to ensure the safety and well-being of our communities. Thank you. In the coming days, I mentioned we'll have a lot of work to do, but again, we're asking folks tonight to please stay home, stay off the phones. We're struggling to keep the lines open. We're having cell phone issues, particularly in the areas most impacted. So stay off the phones if you can, and most importantly, stay home. To that end, we have implemented a curfew in the area affected in police districts 5 and 6, which will start at 9 o'clock, and that's really just to encourage people to stay home. We want to make sure that those folks whose homes, whose businesses have already been so badly damaged are not looted. We're asking folks to just continue to stay home. Again, our top priority is human safety, and we're asking folks who are in crisis, who are in need, to please dial 911 or 211 for help. Thank you.
Well, it's been a long afternoon. I'll reiterate what the mayor said. The quick response from the first responders in the entire St. Louis region, city and county, it has been just amazing. It was slowed down a little bit. This was rush hour traffic on a Friday afternoon on a major thoroughfare, if you will, where the tornado stepped in. Currently, we have made an initial sweep of the area. The second wave of first responders, which are all trained in special search operations using software that helps us identify every step they take and every building they inspect. We expect to complete a sweep of every building in the path by tomorrow morning. At this time, we have 17 search teams in place that are searching a coordinated grid, if you will, that's reporting back to a command post so we can track everything that they do. They are searching with the police department, who's providing assistance in the entire area. We have at this time mapped the path of the tornado. We've got a very good idea of the path it took and the destruction that came after. At this time, like I said, this is going to be a very changing situation. It's very dynamic. Things move around. We got some old buildings in this area. As the mayor also said, we had several cell towers that were affected by this storm. We're gradually getting the cell phones back up and the cell service back up. So we're going to see some of the calls to increase. But like I said, we had a Region C is the area St. Louis is in, which is supported by, there's 42 different fire departments within this Region C collaborative, and there was a coordinated response, and that's what everybody's seeing in that area right now. it is a well-coordinated response. So we'll provide an update as things continue on.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for being here. Like the mayor and Chief Jenkerson has said, this has been a long day for everyone. There's many neighborhoods that are impacted by this weather, and our officers are working closely with neighborhoods, with the fire department, and with our friends here at the Highway Patrol to ensure that people are safe. So, again, we'd like to make sure that people know that they should stay home. And our calls for service have kind of changed more from those emergency calls to can you check on the well-being of some of our family members. Cell phone service is not good. So we are, if you have a relative that you would like us to check on, please call. Know that we are working hard to get to everybody. And we will do our very best to check on each home throughout the evening. We'll work with the fire department. We've teamed up with them, and we will continue our work throughout the evening and then into the upcoming days.
So again, to reiterate, life safety is our top priority. One of the things that I want to mention again is if transporting around the area, we ask people to limit that. If you are getting started early in the morning by the light of day to do cleanup, whether you're in the most impacted areas or other areas outside of that, please continue to use extreme caution. If you come across any down lines, treat those as though they are live. If you do smell gas, report either of those incidents to the appropriate utilities. We, from the City Emergency Management, are sharing information and numbers for Ameren and Spire for you to report those circumstances so that they can be addressed and checked out. What we don't want to see is further injuries coming from the cleanup and recovery phase. I do also want to add, if you have not subscribed to the Notify STL alert tool, please consider doing so. You can visit our city website, stlouis-mo.gov/notify-STL. We will be able to use that to share additional information that is incredibly pertinent following for recovery and cleanup. Once we start to look at debris management, we will try and share that information with you so everybody is aware of that. And then any other critical information that we can share with the public as we move into recovery, we will do that. We will also share that on our website and through our social media as well. So we want everybody to please be safe, whether you're most critically in the path of what we presume to be a tornado or on the outside of that. Please be aware that we want you to be safe in all of those circumstances.
So we are going to open it up to some questions. Just keep in mind, things are still changing, so we may not have all the answers yet, but be assured that we're working to collect them. And I think that by the show of the people up here today, I think everybody can get the feeling that this is a team effort. With Highway Patrol, county police has reached out, county government's reached out, and we're incredibly thankful for that. We'll open it up for some questions. We'll give it 5-6 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, one of the questions I wanted to
why the sirens did not go off. A lot of residents have been asking, which didn't go off. What's your
That is still something that's being looked into.
some, but you don't really know the extent.
I don't have the information right now. No, as I said, we're focusing on the ongoing life safety issues.
They were
and
testing
supporting them.
yesterday. Was there any issues with the testing done yesterday that could have indicated potential issues for today?
No, and that testing was for engineers, but again, we didn't see any significant issues with that. We tested the sirens, I believe, 5 or 6 times over the course of the afternoon, and they performed as they should have.
What are the details on the curfew? Who does that affect? How long will it be in effect? Is it all of districts 5 and 6 of this part?
It is all of districts 5 and 6, yes. And again, we're not looking to really be harsh-handed on this. This is just an issue, a matter of public safety to try to keep folks home.
So
I had asked you, is there any way you can...
Police districts 5 and 6.
Right, but for people who don't know police districts, what can we?
I do have the map.
North of Forest.
North of Forest Park, more or less, within the city limits.
And is
That's
it by
right.
everybody or just kids? Or,
It's everybody. We're asking everybody to stay home
okay, until what time?
till 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning.
Could you give us the circumstances surrounding the deaths of the 5 victims?
I
Any of them?
can't do
Can
that
you say
right now.
anything about
I can't say anything about the individuals who've lost their life today. Not yet.
that? And I'd asked you this question
You did.
earlier. What can citizens do to help?
Right now, the most important thing citizens can do to help is to stay off their phones unless absolutely necessary and stay out of the affected area unless absolutely necessary. We want to clear the roads for first responders and we want to clear the lines for those experiencing emergencies.
Chief Jenkerson, you said that you talked about the mapping of what you think the path was. What did that look like to you?
Looks like the area touchdown, the original touchdown was in Clayton, and we did have a report of a possible tornado on the ground, and then it skipped a couple blocks into Richmond Heights, and then clipped the corner of Forest Park, continued, I'll say, eastward, across the river, just outside O'Fallon Park. Okay, we use an AI process, if you will, to determine path and ground effects. So we got a pretty good idea, which helps us set up our grids and how we're going to search areas, which is what we're doing now for the second time. So we'll continue that through the night. Path approximately, I'm going to say 3 blocks wide. But there is collateral damage on the outside of the actual path that we checked. We did do an aerial reconnaissance of the area, and as the mayor said, there is very significant damage because of this storm. This is a very destructive storm, and like you said, we've got about 5,000 parcels that have been damaged.
Jim, 2 more questions.
You mentioned about a river by O'Fallon Park. What do you mean by that?
Pardon?
You said it skipped the river or something?
No, after it hit Clayton, it skipped into Richmond Heights
I
and
got
skipped
that.
again, and then
Heard
came
that.
into Forest Park,
Heard that.
then went east and crossed the river into Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then it came back?
No, it kept going. It kept going.
Chief, describe the process that's going on tonight. What are you doing? Who all is involved? How many people are involved in this?
Right now, we've got approximately 500 first responders in that area right now. It's part of what's called the Region C Mutual Aid Division. We train together. We practice together. And what they're using now is a system where each team member has basically a cell phone that's linked to a piece of software. As they inspect a building, they have statuses that they provide, whether the building total destruction, partially collapsed, and they could describe how bad the collapse is. If they happen to find somebody in that facility, they can hit on a button and say, we have 2 people who are going to house in place, or we need an individual picked up by ambulance. That's being monitored by the command post at this time. So as they find circumstances that need additional assistance, that's relayed back to the command post. Automatically, equipment is sent out. Each team consists of 4 to 5 members with a police officer. And we've got 17 teams in the field right now, and they'll be going house to house all night long.
How many people were?
One more question.
were-
One more question for Sean.
Lieutenant Colonel Brisbane, are you concerned about the potential for looting this evening in some of the areas that are affected?
So we've certainly had that conversation, and we've certainly have plans in place to address that. And so we've used officers to assist with the fire department, but we also have plans for looting, high visibility, and undercover patrols as we move through the evening.
Okay, guys. So real quick, and I think one other thing is that we still have other people that have been hurt in this, and so we are working closely along with fire department and the hospitals. As you can imagine, during a mass casualty situation, victims are going to different hospitals. So we have to start working on collecting that. We will work to do that, to provide you that number tomorrow during the update. But I do want to mention one thing about the curfews. Even in our command post, we have nails on the ground, and somebody could get hurt. And so the curfew is to protect people and then also protect their property. And that'll be in effect until 6 a.m. We will provide another update tomorrow, guys.
Is it a large number of people hurt or dozens?
Yeah, no, any estimate on how?
We know that several people have been transported to the hospital. So thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Mitch.
fortunate to be in my home city under these circumstances, but I was on the phone with the mayor within the hour. Our state emergency management agency was in contact managers both here in the city and in the county within the hour. We've deployed multiple resources through SEMA up to the state, including several urban search and rescue teams. There's 5 in the area, 3 in the city. Missouri Task Force 1 and their 84 members were deployed and arrived on scene last night around midnight. We've had several fire search and rescue teams that are deployed from community fire districts that have come together here. We're putting all hands on deck to make sure that we can assist the city and local authorities as much as possible. Obviously, Missouri State Highway Patrol is on scene as well to assist in any way that the chief needs help with. I would echo the mayor's response or comments that our first responders, both in fire and police, have been incredible heroes in this moment. And this is when you really see the goodness of Missouri, when you see these men and women step up and help their friends and neighbors that they've never met, just try to restore some essential services. I've been on the phone this morning with the CEO of Ameren, Marty Lyons. He is working on updates on restoring power. I know that's a big issue next to public safety, obviously, is also restoring power. They're making some inroads, but the devastation is incredible. Pole damage is unbelievable. He is providing and getting resources from as far away from Kansas City with Evergy, who has sent crews overnight to help him, along with other municipal-owned utilities, as well as our electric co-ops, providing inventory that they need, transformers, poles, linemen if needed, etc. So those coordination efforts, this is their backyard as well. I work with you to making sure you restore the resources as quickly as possible. Grateful for Senator Schmidt being here on the scene immediately. All of our federal delegation is aware of what's happening here, including Wesley Bell, who I've talked to several times. And last but not least, I got a great phone call this morning at 8 a.m. from Secretary Kristi Noem, and who wanted to assure us that FEMA and Region 7, who we operate under, who has already been in contact with our State Emergency Management Agency, stands ready to help us. And I'm grateful that Secretary Noem, and I know it's through U.S. Senator Schmidt's effort because of their relationship, was on the scene with me on the phone all night long as well, keeping that administration up to speed. With that, I'll introduce Chief Tracy is here, or Chief Jenkerson, either one of you. Chief Jenkerson. Dennis Jenkerson, Fire Department.
Good morning, everyone. St. Louis Fire Department and the surrounding fire community, the regional assets, were moved into the St. Louis City early yesterday afternoon, right after the tornado hit. We finished up at about 2:30 in the morning, searching approximately 4,000 homes.
We have 5 dead, 4 here up in this area, 1 down by Carondelet Park, where a person was injured and killed in their car, and then we got close to over 30 injured, but that number might get higher, maybe minor injuries to some serious injuries. But I also just want to thank all the men and women of this department and other departments that have come here. Missouri Highway Patrol was here immediately to help us, because if you saw Kings Highway, the amount of trees that came down also prevented us from getting to here, and then all the other city services, from chainsaws to people coming out, and that we need to do to help the people that need us the most. You also talk about the city emergency management, pulling that together, coming together quickly, and then obviously you got to work with Ameren and Spira, and the amount of support that's coming in right now to help restore a lot of services. A lot of down power lines, very dangerous what was happening, but these men and women are going out there, making sure everybody's safe. And then if you see something, it's still not over. We have our officers doing grids. We're going up and down the blocks. Even when we get back into darkness, we want to make sure that if you see something, say something. If you haven't heard from someone, you got to call 911. You got to let us know so we can make sure we can take the proper action to try to see if we can see something that we have not covered. Right now, you heard from the U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt.
Our heart goes out, my family's heart goes out to those affected by these storms yesterday. It is a reminder of how dangerous things can get pretty quickly with Mother Nature. And so I think the message here is that we're all very united from the federal, state, and local level to make sure the people who have been injured or that damage get the help they need. There's no daylight between the delegation, the federal delegation, or the mayor, or the governor in that effort. I want to thank the first responders who are still out there right now doing some really dangerous work with some buildings that have been damaged. They deserve our accolades for the work that they do day and night, and that work still continues. So to law enforcement that's looking for some information immediately, disasterassistance.dangerous, and I stand ready to work with the governor, the mayor, and every official out there in Missouri right now to make sure all the resources are available.
And in addition to the coordinated approach here to do the work, this is a true tragedy, but absolute way. Thank you.
So as Mayor Spencer said, the cleanup process has started, but there is so much more work to do. It is still dangerous, which is why the city of St. Louis will continue its parts of North and West St. Louis. Nails are sticking out of the ground and boards. It is for your safety that you stay home between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. and our officers on those who have been devastated. We have a few minutes for just a couple of questions. I know that there's another briefing happening with some of our department leadership here.
You know how many people don't have power in Ashland at all?
I don't know how many people. 8,500. I thought it was. 90,000 is what I was hearing last night. I don't think that number has changed. 90,000 is what we're.